Hi everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and we're here doing another classic capture. Today we're playing Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition for the Game Boy.
One of my early favorites.
One of the all-time classics of our generation.
Well, yeah.
My generation, for sure.
She's not yours. You weren't even born
Hey,
yet.
fuck you.
This is 1995.
Pikachu
so he was like
surfing,
two.
motherfucker.
You were like
Done.
You were like
Pikachu, I don't remember Pikachu ever doing that, but okay.
You were like
Aww.
Hey, I had a surfing Pikachu before this game even came out.
I just had
Thank you, Game
I just
Shark.
had a seizure. So,
See, yellow Pika version.
my first one was red. Timmy's was blue.
I bought yellow when it came out. As a matter of fact, yellow was the very first game I ever pre-ordered. I actually pre-ordered it like 3 weeks in advance at Target. Because I remember they gave you this like box that had like an insert. And
Nah.
it's just, like,
Now, yellow version essentially is the same as red and blue with a few minor tweaks. First of all,
actually, it's a lot of tweaks because
the minor because the
Well,
core
nope.
game.
Well, here's how it works. In Japan, green version was the first version to come out, along with red version. Those were what were considered to be version 1. I'm giving you a little bit of background here. After a while, blue came out, which was the bug fix, and it was the improved version. So blue version out of the 3 originals was the superior version. Yellow version took the blue version engine, and it added the ability for you to have Pikachu follow you, which follows the anime that came here to the US a lot more closely than what was in the other game, which was more along the lines of the manga than anything.
Well, okay, besides the game mechanics, which have been almost the same in every game here, yellow, you actually got Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. It wasn't,
That's why it's following the anime.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, you're saying it follows the anime as far as Pikachu following you. I'm saying
it follows the anime
yeah,
overall.
But also, this one was the one that actually had Jesse and James, like the
Team
anime,
Rocket,
instead
yeah.
of just your random Team Rocket one.
Yeah,
Essentially, the core game is the same as red and blue. The core game.
yeah. The story mechanics and who you get and what people you meet are closer to the anime.
And in tradition of every Pokemon game, you name
You name your rival whore, because that is what he is. Oh, I remember now. His name is Whore.
I never owned yellow. Tim did. I had red version. And essentially, like I said, core mechanics are the same. Most of the Pokemon are there. Obviously, you get some, like surfing Pikachu is the big thing about this. You could use surf from one specific episode that I vaguely remember.
Actually, to get the surfing Pikachu, you needed to use yellow version in Pokemon Stadium.
Yep.
Oh, well. See,
It
I didn't know
didn't.
that.
It wasn't. You weren't able to get it in the game.
Officially,
Yeah.
yeah.
But officially, you could get it if you loaded him into Stadium, and you had to win something.
Yeah, there was some cup you had to
Yeah.
do or something.
But I mean, that's why. I mean, you could do it, but again, you
Not
needed
without Stadium.
Yeah, you needed Stadium.
So,
I mean, that was one of the big things also because this one came out around the time Stadium had just got released.
That's right, the
Or got
64.
released, yeah.
The 64 came out a little bit after, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it had just come out, but it was still in that transition phase.
Yeah, it had come out in Japan, but not. It was still relatively new year.
Yeah, because like in this one, it says he's playing the SNES.
Yeah,
so.
that's right.
yeah, it should be. Not the Wii.
God, black and white. I'm like, hey, he's playing a Wii.
Yeah.
What Pokemon Gray is gonna come out? Is gonna be playing.
Shut
a
up,
Wii
whore.
U.
Oh, that's true. He's gonna be playing a Wii U in the next 180.
It's gonna be Pokemon
Yeah,
Gray.
probably. So, I mean, if you're old enough, this was during my middle school days. You're old enough to remember this. You've probably already played this. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine a kid who didn't, on some level, or at least borrow it from somebody. And this was a Game Boy game, so it didn't add any color. The additions of color here are done purely from the Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
Which is nice that they had the ability to do that with the code, saying this color translates to this color in color. They had the different shades of black and gray and white in the original Game Boy, and they were able to translate that over to this properly. Was a nice little feature. Now, one thing that I always found funny was I had a lot of people who played this. Of course, this was our generation's big thing this is the Game Boy game that most people played and owned, is that people never really realize that this is actually an RPG on some level.
That's true.
And people are like, Final Fantasy, I don't like that kind of game. Have you ever played Pokemon? Yeah, I love Pokemon. It's the same thing.
Essentially.
And having people not realize that, I always thought was kind of funny. Now, I know Timmy was saying that this follows the anime because he gets all 3 Pokemon, but actually, it changes it here.
Actually,
in the anime, I think he gets Squirtle, but here he gets...
No.
And he does.
I believe
He gets a Squirtle, sir.
I know.
In the comments, please let us know.
I will show you.
Let us know. I think in the original version of it, he got an Eevee.
No, he gets a Squirtle.
I don't think so.
Well,
We'll find out.
he gets
Well, you
Eevee
thought he
here.
got a squirrel here.
No, we'll find out in a little bit.
Ringo
Don't worry.
played drums.
He did play drums. Eevee here was a good choice from a technical perspective because he wasn't weak against lightning. He's a normal type, so it kind of balances out.
Marco just hoped
A
he had
horse snatched the Pokemon. You whore. See? It makes the game interesting.
Marco just wanted a Squirtle because he needs that weakness.
Aw.
Hey,
Well,
you
in
leave
the
Turtle
other 2
alone.
games, whatever you choose, he always chose the strongest type against it, so
Yeah.
it makes sense here for him to get that.
Now,
We're just reading what's going
yeah,
on.
just like
Considering
This
it's
is making
been
me
how
feel-
many years since we've played it.
this makes me feel so goddamn old. And if you're wondering why I chose this name, by the way, I was playing this. If you're wondering why I chose this name, it's because he reminds me of a clown. And I don't,
Bobby's weird sometimes.
yeah, you should have seen some of the
Sometimes.
more
Uh,
some of the other stuff I've named these things.
I will say this: it is fun to see how they'll say that.
this game had no censorship.
That was nice. And the later ones they did, you just had to do weird spacing.
No, they had no censorship in the other one. I think if you try to put them into tournaments, you couldn't do it like through Wi-Fi.
That's what.
But still, I mean, if you were playing around, I don't think it mattered. Oh God. Yeah. So out of the original 4 versions, including this one, that would be green as well, which is never came out here. So let's say out of the original 3, this is probably the best one because of the way things are balanced and it's just overall fixes.
You also got to remember this one came out a considerable time after Red and Blue.
Yeah,
I mean, it
this
was
came out when the
maybe-
Game Boy Color came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had that. So this one's a lot better, and this one's actually set up to take the color changes a lot better because of it.
Yeah, another thing was this was the one where it actually started kind of bringing in whether your Pokemon liked you or not.
Yeah. So this is definitely the superior game. And, if you've ever played a Pokemon game, it's the exact same thing. If you haven't, you have a Pokemon who's a monster, and, you can fight. It's like a standard RPG.
I will say that there were some disappointments after this game with Gold and Silver, which I mean to me are still the best 2 of the series. But there was a lot of things in this game that didn't quite make it in there that a lot of people just kind of, should have been in there.
Like what?
Well, one, I mean, I know in all the games people wanted to be able to have your Pokemon follow you, which is something, they did in this one. It's kind of like, well, why couldn't you do it in the other one?
What else?
Throwing me off here.
So much for your
No,
statement.
well, no, but, well, also the whole like Pokemon liking you thing didn't play that big a role in Gold and Silver either.
No, it really didn't start doing that until the advanced games.
Yeah, no, but that's why. I mean, they put it in here, and that was something that they could have done a little more with in Gold and Silver instead of waiting longer. Although I will say, Gold and Silver having the whole night and day thing using the internal clock.
Yeah,
that,
was a big
that-
addition.
Yeah, that really was. That's kind of what sold it on me. I remember having the guide and having to look through it to see what time I could go catch, whatever.
What time you had to train your Eevee to evolve into an Umbreon or
Yeah,
an
it's like,
Espeon.
it's 3 a.m. I gotta take Eevee for a walk.
One of my favorite things about the originals versus the newer ones is they don't mix up the. Screw you!
Just like,
Go to hell, you goddamn clown shit. That's why I named you that. No, one of the things that I prefer, and you guys can argue with this, I prefer that Pokemon types stayed Pokemon types. They didn't have 2 to 3 different types.
Well, like you said, it's an RPG, and if you look at Final Fantasy, I mean,
I don't care. I wanted Pikachu. I wanted Pikachu to stay electric, and I didn't want Charizard to be fucking flying and fire.
he's dragon too.
Is he dragon?
Yeah,
also
he's
now?
dragon
No,
too.
Flying,
He's-
fire, dragon.
You know,
Well, I mean, he's got wings,
My-
so he can fly. He looks like a dragon, so he's a dragon, and he's
I don't
spits
like.
fire.
I don't
so
know.
he's fire.
I
so 3
I
types.
prefer the original setup. It's preference. That's what I grew up with. That's what I first played.
The only thing I don't really care for the special abilities, the Pokemon powers, in the new ones.
I also the thing that I never used in the later ones were like the berries. They weren't. I know others probably did, but I never gave a shit about them.
I use the berries in Gold and Silver, but like in Diamond and Pearl, I couldn't go. I couldn't take the time to try and regrow them, and it's like they were really rare. So if you used them, it was that was it.
You know what this needs more than anything else, though. No matter what, if you could patch it in somehow.
The ability to run?
Yeah, the run
Yeah.
button.
That was one of the greatest things that they added to the advanced games. The ability
Yeah.
to run.
Well, once you got those running shoes, it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
this game is just like 1,000 times better.
And then you get the bike, and it makes things a million times better.
And
you patch it to your select button.
Yeah.
Select da 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 da.
I wanted to use the bike in the gym. I used to hate that.
Oh, I like that you can use it now.
Yeah, they let you use it.
It's
I
like,
just say after it's like you can't use this here. What if I want to use the fishing rod on land?
I want to fish for stuff. I will say one of, and I'm sure you guys will agree, one of the things that stuck with people who played this game the most above everything was the music.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The tunes in this, you'll hear it 10 years after playing this game. You haven't touched it. You'll hear it and you're like, that's from Pokemon Red. That's from Pokemon Blue. That's that one song you have when you're riding the bike down the bike path.
That's the Pokemon Center song.
That is the Pokemon Center song. That's a Pokemon Mart song.
God damn.
That's the battle music song. That's the evolution song. The composer, whoever composed the music for this song, is a genius. The music just sticks with you and you remember it for years.
This would cause a crowd of adults my age and older to
I want
to hum in unison.
I want the tone from the Pokemon Center when it heals your Pokemon. I want that as a cell phone tone.
Well, you can find it pretty much.
Yep, easy to find.
And I'm just walking around. You have to forgive me. Like I said, haven't played this one or the original since it came out initially. You know? So let's see, 1995, middle school.
16 years.
I was
17 years.
No, not that long, is it?
Sir, it's been 17
Man,
years
you're
since
making
this
me feel
game came out.
really old now.
If it came out in 95, it's 17 years now.
95.
16 years, sorry.
Okay, so 95, Twister was 96. I was.
I
It was either 6th or 7th grade.
I was 4 or 5.
We were in middle school.
6th or 7th grade.
I was 4 or 5.
You were like 2.
You were a fetus? Oh, hey, look, it's a wild Marco.
Hey, fuck you.
Cloud shit. Just fucking hit him with a pie. I never liked Pikachu.
Hand buzzer.
I like Raichu because Raichu kind of looked kind of badass, but and I always used to in the anime. Always used to yell at Ash to use the fucking stone. Who gave a shit if he wanted to be or not? I hate. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, Marco. Next time.
Oh, I died.
I guess that's another aspect if you've never played a Pokemon game, which is really hard to imagine unless you're older than me.
Sir, do you remember our father?
Yeah,
It's like 50.
God, he bought a goddamn Game Boy Advance SP just to play
He's played
Pokemon.
like 3 of the versions and beat them.
Yeah, that is the
So
power of
that
Pokemon.
should show you.
That is the power of Pokemon. Well, let's talk about sane people. You have random battles when you're in the grass, basically. It randomizes when you'll encounter something, what you'll encounter. This is a double-edged sword because when you go in there, obviously you usually want to go in there to capture stuff or kill stuff to gain levels, such as this parakeet.
Bitchy. Just say it right.
Parakeet.
Bitchy?
Okay.
Cockatiel. Pigeon. There we go.
Sparrow.
No, now you're naming a Pokemon. Anyway, the idea is that you can capture them, and
Spearmint.
there's a bit of luck, there's a bit of random chance.
There's a formula.
Yes.
That's how hardcore this game is. There's a whole formula that determines your likeliness to catch a Pokemon.
Yes, and if,
Yeah, 50 fucking Ultra Balls, paralysis, and like 1 HP.
So, let's see, where else can you
Damn
go with this?
bird.
It's, I mean, there's so many things we could say from a
This is the
memory
game that
perspective.
spawned games to come. There have been consistent releases of actual full-fledged sequels
With
every 3 to 4 years.
with very few mistakes.
There,
Mystery Dungeon.
no, out of the main storyline, I cannot see that there's one game that has been horrible. They've all
Mystery
been great.
Dungeon.
That's not one of the main games.
That's a spin-off to me.
That's a spin-off.
Hell,
That's-
even
well, that's-
Pokemon
that's what I
Snap
meant.
was decent.
Pokemon Pinball! Pokemon Pinball!
I remember Snap. I used to go to Blockbuster to get the little stickers printed.
That's true. Shit.
I even have one
Man,
of the cards
just
that you paid
Digging
for.
up memories that I had long since buried.
This game has also, of course, spun up a lot of rumors and mysteries and glitches. There are more glitches in this game than I can count. We're actually planning on, well, I'm planning on playing through this and showing a lot of the cool little rumors and stuff, like the whole Mew truck thing. I'm going to try and do that. The actual proper way to get Mew, which I'll show you. All the glitches with like a glitch city and all the missing no stuff.
I think another thing to mention that was, besides the profound solidifying Game Boy as a platform
Yeah.
that people wanted, because they
This
were-
is what made Nintendo what they are in the mobile platform.
And this is what kept Nintendo's handheld dominancy throughout, even till now.
the Game Boy was alright, but when Pokemon came out, then that's why we have so many iterations. No, the other thing that this spawned more than anything else, I think, was the add-ons for Game Genie and Game Shark,
Yeah.
because nobody really wanted to try to find 150 little rats. you
Well,
know?
being that they split them up into 2 games, not everyone had the ability.
Not in this one though. This
Yeah.
one had them, by the way.
And-
That's one of the main
and the
changes.
goddamn trade
this
cable.
You still had to get from red and blue
It added some, though. Something like that.
even so, you had to like evolve Golem
through trading.
through trading.
Yeah, Abra through trade, Kadabra through trading to Alakazam.
The link cable itself was so rare and expensive and hard to find, and everything else under the sun. And we had one, thankfully.
Well, besides that, the link cable was so unstable that
Yeah, someone got
It-
excited, pulled it,
if
and
someone
slow,
pu-
and slow.
slow, but also like if you just slightly moved it during the middle of a trade, you could easily corrupt the game.
Yeah, that we knew someone that happened to who was near close to finishing their Pokedex.
I was gonna say, as a matter of fact,
That was
even
sad
the
day.
Game Shark was very, very delicate with this game, because even that, using it too many times or too long could even corrupt it real easy.
Yeah, it was, but like I said, the Game Shark really benefited from this game because you could essentially, if you either, well, that's when custom codes started coming out. You could get every Pokemon, capturing them easy. You had the randomizer.
You could go into business selling Mews.
Oh, seriously, people made money off that shit.
I remember when
Gullible
I was-
people who didn't know that you could buy Mews. I mean, capture Mew or get it by the official means at the Pokemon tournaments. You can get a Mew, capture him through the Game Shark, and people were selling them.
I honestly remember in school that there was some people that would sell them for between $5 to $20 each. They would just have them stockpiled in their game, and they would just trade.
Unfortunately, those were level 20 Mews, which is the lowest you can get.
No, the Game Shark ones are
actually,
level 5.
The Game Shark, you could catch
Level 7 were the real ones. The actual Mew you can get in game is a level 7. If you get a level 7, he's the one that goes for a lot. In fact, if you trade today, anyone in the world, if you put him up, a level 7 Mew will basically trade you anything in the real game. Of course, you have to do the whole workaround. You have to trade from red over to gold, from gold over to the new ones, and the new ones over to the new ones.
Process, man.
Yeah, but if you're willing to do that, you can get those traded for anything.
Well,
but
on the
with Game
world
Shark, you
market,
don't need
on the world
No,
trade market.
but their stats are much different. If you get an actual level 7, the stats are much higher than those of a Game Shark one. people
That's
know.
Yeah,
And then
true.
the OT, the original trainer, it actually gives your name under it rather than where the Game Shark. There's some way that it doesn't do it quite right.
Or the serial number.
Yeah.
The serial number was a big thing. I guess the last bit, to talk about is, after you completed everything or, whatever you had, this game with Red and Blue you could use for Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 on the Nintendo 64 with the plug-in adapter that allowed you to use your Pokemon against others, on your big TV. You couldn't actually play the adventure on your big TV, which is what everybody wanted. That still hasn't happened.
unless you had a Super Game Boy,
Yeah, but I mean the actual like a
a full-on 3D.
full-fledged 3D, Pokemon
and
thing.
it would sell.
Nintendo, I'm sure Nintendo fears that would ruin the handheld market.
Yeah,
That was the initial explanations back
well,
in the day.
yes and no, because I think at this point people would want to play it at home, but they'd want some kind of connectivity with the DS, something they could take it on the go with.
It's time to catch Marco.
Aw.
Oh yeah, I also forgot there's one last thing. This game also spawned like the first kind of, I want to say like peripheral, the Pocket Pikachu, where
That's
you
right.
could actually shake it and you get steps, and then use infrared on the Game Boy, and you could get special items in the game only through that.
For that matter, this game spawned the special edition Game Boys that come out every year.
It spawned a bunch of shit. Let's just say.
Yeah. This is the game that started everything.
Yeah, well, it really pushed the marketing and where the series would go and where Nintendo would take it as a marketing juggernaut. And I just caught a Marco, and I'm gonna. If you're wondering why I'm saying Marco, because we've decided that Rattata looks like Marco, and he'll become Eradicate once he starts driving. All right, everyone. Well, this is Classic Capture for Pokemon Yellow Pikachu Special Edition with Clown Shit. Please subscribe and let us know what you think.